This suit is really about freedom of speech. And what it is, it's basic that freedom of speech depends on certain things. One is who decides what's hate, who decides what's misinformation. It's not a couple guys out in California. It's always been the Supreme Court for over 200 years, and I would say they've done a heck of a job.
That is John Coale, the lead counsel for this new class action lawsuit that President Trump is leading against big tech. President Trump truly has lawyered up. We're very impressed with John Coale and his performance yesterday and his record. John Coale joins us now. Welcome to Newsmax, sir. How are you?
I'm just fine, thanks.
You bet. So look, I'm very optimistic about this case, and so are the experts, Alan Dershowitz, others, saying there's real teeth here. You have a real shot, but you kept talking about the Supreme Court. Explain to us how you can get relief there, please.
Well, I think in the end, that's where it will be, because it's a very important, hugely important issue. The law, which ends at the Supreme Court, has to decide how to handle these tech companies and the internet in the 21st century. All the law we've got, pretty much all the law we've got, is back before these things existed. So we got to take a good look at it legally, and we got to come up with some solutions where people aren't, their free speech rights aren't infringed upon.
And you made the point that, right now, let's face it, big tech is coming after conservatives. We all know that in big ways and small ways, the shadow banning, the outright censorship. But the tide can turn, and who knows what could happen in the future, and they could come after Democrats as well.
Well, you look at history, and you have things like this where all of a sudden somebody's free speech or constitutional rights are infringed upon, and the people it is not being infringed upon say, well, that's not too bad. Then it happens to them, and that's what can happen here. This has to be solved. You can't have this going on in this country where people, especially a sitting president of the United States, gets taken down from 150 million followers. Now, those followers have a right to hear him, whether they like to hear him because they hate him or like to hear him because they like him. And that's just a shame.
That is. And he brought it up. And if he can be taken off of a big platform like that, what about the rest of us? Here's the president from yesterday.
And of course, there is no better evidence that big tech is out of control than the fact that they banned the sitting president of the United States earlier this year, a ban that continues to this day, continues. So we get the word out, but it's not a fair situation. Very, very bad for this country, very bad for the world. If they can do it to me, they can do it to anyone. And in fact, that is exactly what they're doing.
That really hit home. I've gotten a little bit of it myself, and they can cancel just about anybody they want if they want to.
Right, for any reason. If they just don't feel good that morning when they get up, their coffee wasn't good, who knows? But they can cancel anybody, and it's just wrong, period.
All right. Now, by the way, he was very impressed with you. I thought you were terrific at the press conference, but he kept referring to the big tobacco fights in the 90s. You were involved in that. I think we have a headline from that era. Can you tell us a little bit about the similarities, if there are any, between what happened back then and what we're seeing right now?
Well, one thing was I've heard in the last 24 hours all these pundits, well, this is frivolous, this can't happen. We heard that in the beginning of what I refer to as the tobacco wars. You had 60 years of tobacco winning every case in litigation, and then they met, me, the boys, all the guys that got together, the women who fought them, and we won. So this is another thing that's much bigger than tobacco. I mean, yes, it's terrible that all those people died from tobacco. It's terrible what happened, but this is fundamental First Amendment rights to a society that needs freedom of speech. This is a big case. As Dershowitz, I think, said last night, this is the biggest First Amendment case, I don't know, in years and years and years. And I believe that. I do. It's a very, very important issue.
People can join up. This is a class action lawsuit, so it's not just the president. This is a lot of people. And yesterday, I think it was discussed, if anybody out there wants to join, there is a way to do that.
Yes, there is. America First Policy Institute has a website, and they're helping out on this case. And they got 30,000 hits and requests to be on the case since yesterday. So if you go to their website, which of course is an old man I don't have, but if you go to America First Policy Institute, I'm sure you can figure it out much better than I could.
Well, actually, we have one of our whippersnappers in the back. They just put it on the screen, takeonbigtech.com, and it'll give you a link. And forgive me, John, I think I met you many years ago. Are you married to Greta Van Susteren? Is that true?
Oh, yeah, we met a couple times back in the day.
Well, I knew I liked you, and now I understand why. Terrific stuff. Thank you. Our best to Greta, and good luck with this lawsuit. Good to see you.
Really appreciate it.